right to the stage. Suggestion via a channel member. Let's go and jump to the video immediately, guys. Let's see what this takes us.
One is, what would you say the fatherlessness, what is, like from a rate to 1 to 10
Okay.
in America, like what is, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, don't worry about it. It's always nerve-wracking being the first one.
Yeah. On a rate to 1 to 10, what is the scale, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time.
No, you're totally fine. This is literally me on my podcast. Sometimes I'm like, I just don't have sentences today.
Yeah. What would you rate on a scale of 1 to 10 fatherlessness is in America?
What is in America? Sorry, I didn't hear the word.
Fatherlessness.
Fatherlessness in America.
Whichever is the highest.
Number one, father absence is the number one contributor to every ill that Black America is facing, and they obscure that by just telling you the results of father absence. And this is for everybody. You look at the statistics, they always tell you white versus Black versus Chinese. The reason that people that are the most successful in our society, which are Asian Americans, nobody ever wants to talk about them, but they are the most successful, it's because their family unit is together and they have better values. When you come from a family that is together, it automatically asserts better principles for you, because when you come from a one-parent household, what typically is a scenario is that mom's out working 2 jobs and she's not paying attention to what you're listening to and what you're learning. And this is why culture steps up in a big way. This is why a lot of, I'm speaking about Black children, but this is all children, they turn to culture and that becomes mom and dad. Jay-Z and Beyonce becomes mom and dad. What is Jay-Z thinking I should do when you put on a pair of headphones? And this is why it's been so important for me with my platform to attack culture. And people go, well, what are you talking about Cardi B? Because that's now culture. There are women that are looking up at that, singing WAP lyrics, thinking that they can become successful if they take their clothes off. We have to attack that. Father absence, number one, without question. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's super valid. No issues so far here, guys. None. He's right.
Hey.
Okay. All right. Well, first off, I'd just like to say good evening to you, Candace Owens, and I really appreciate you for coming down here, because, of course, I'm not someone that agrees with you, but I definitely did enjoy the experience. Just being in this room around different-minded people, I got to, really understand more about you and what you, broadcast to your audience. One thing I'd like to ask you about is, throughout this entire seminar, I hear you, attacking a lot of left-wing, I would say extreme talking points. One thing I would like to have a question about is when it comes to public education, you said that you wanted the department to be abolished, burned down to the ground.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate more as to why you think public education is a problem?
Absolutely. So
look at what's being promoted.
When things started going downhill in terms of the public education system is when they federalized it. Nothing good happens in the federal government. Nothing good. There's not.
Nothing.
There isn't.
Sorry.
A single federal department that you can point to and say, hey, that runs expertly. I mean, DMV, talk about anything. Oh, that runs really well. We should really do more of that. The job of the government is to make sure that it has more employees, right? To make sure that government can grow. And their best way to do that is by creating a system of dependency. So it's counterintuitive. I'm a supporter of school choice. People should not be deemed to go somewhere that they're districted simply because of where they live. This is exactly what leads to kids going to bad inner city communities. And it's a huge reason why I am a conservative, is because conservatives believe in school choice, and they tell you that it's racist and it's wrong, and there's no reason why a child should have to go to school based on where they live and not based on where their mother wants them to go to school with their tax dollars that they're paying into. So the Department of Education has been a remarkable failure. There's not a single piece of proof that shows you that people are not reading more.
Guys, we have a massive issue with education in the United States of America, and definitely the Department of Education is pretty much responsible for that here. You cannot think that every single corner of the United States of America kind of believes and kind of wants their kids to kind of be the same exact thing, right? So if you start federalizing something and then you have someone from, let's say, the state of California, Oregon, Washington, these type of places attempting to influence the education that is occurring in, rural Texas, rural Alabama, that doesn't make any sense here, bro. You can't do that, right? Obviously, everyone wants their kids to be as smart as they possibly can, and kind of, they want them to kind of be able to move forward in life as much as they possibly can, so they can do for the country as much as the country has done for them, let's say. But guys, California has ruined the United States of America.
Writing better, people are not,
we're not better
at math than we were when it's been established. How can you have anything that takes that much money from the American taxpayer that hasn't given you a single marker for how it's become successful and it still is allowed to exist? It doesn't make any sense, right?
People are not smarter.
So, of course, I agree with you there. I feel like, the federal government is spending a lot of people's money on things that doesn't matter. Another point that you made throughout your event is that you feel like the cause for the deterioration of Black America was the absence of family. Do you not feel, and you specifically cited the Jim Crow era, do you not feel that the times during that era had any effect on that, or do you feel like those?
Well, it's an interesting study. So to be clear, I'm not arguing, because this is how a reporter will take me out of context, but Candace demands Jim Crow comes back. Absolutely not. What I'm saying is that is so telling that during Jim Crow times, the Black American family was doing better. Why is that? Because we had to rely upon ourselves, our families were together, and faith was at the center of not just the Black life, but the American life. And what happened, which Black people were given an opportunity to after slavery, was that families were able to come together. They understood the importance of family being together and better values being asserted. And so I'm not at all making an argument that somehow society would be better, but we should really try to learn the lessons of why it is that Black Americans have won in terms of segregation ending, in terms of, race-based policies and initiatives being gone, and in terms of, which is actually a big loss, the welfare policies. But everything that is shown is that we've gone backwards. We actually are doing worse than we were when we won all of these things. It's worth us having a discussion about it.
Yeah, guys, that definitely goes back to the first questioner here, truth be told here. It's without the fathers. Like, obviously, if a father's in a household, you're not going to get as much or any, let's say, government assistance at times. Right? So obviously, with this being said here, so get rid of the man from the household, and what do you think happens? Government steps in, government daddy steps in. Who's going to be the protector? The police. Who's going to be the provider? The governor, right? So the overall concept of like nuclear families or traditional families were absolutely obliterated when this happened here, guys, right? So without the father in the household, what do you think happens, guys? What do you think happens? All that freedom, sure, you have all this freedom to do all the things that you ever wanted to do, but now look at the outcomes of the children. They're terrible, bro. Right? Consistently terrible. Like, look at the amount of people that are in prison today, okay, that came from single mother households. Look at it. Pay attention to those numbers, guys.
And realizing what happened. Thank you. So I just
there
want
are
to get to more
obviously
people because I feel so.
Wait, guys, because someone's going to take me out of context here. All right, listen, guys. Obviously, there are certain circumstances where it's not government daddy stepping in. Something happened, because for those of you who just want to hear the exceptions, not the rules here, there are certain circumstances where, of course, there could have been, absolute, mayhem, fisticuffs, let's say, happening in the household, and that's why you left and became a single mother. I'm not talking about you, so please don't yell at me in the comments immediately regarding this. That's a different circumstance. I'm talking about the norm, not the literal exceptions, the 2% scenarios here, guys. All right? Because I know I'm going to get that in the comments.
So bad.
Yeah, so this is just like a little quick question, like just for myself. Would you just be able to more elaborate, cite what areas Black Americans were, thriving in during that time? Just so I can.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Could you elaborate on what? Because you said that Black Americans,
economically,
were economically
per
crime
household,
rates.
Per household, how much money people had at that time. Black Americans have gotten poorer. There has been trillions of dollars given to the welfare system, and Black American families are poorer today than when they were. That makes entirely no sense.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what the welfare state does.
I want to get to as many questions as possible. I always sit down, we have a couple lines. So if everyone could just try to keep it to one question and keep the question like 10 seconds, just so I can try to get as many people as possible.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Can you please define critical race theory and what that means in K through 12 education, as well as your opinions on Ron DeSantis and his policies in Florida as it regards to critical race theory, banning it, and recently, what he did with African American studies, women studies. Yeah.
So I can define it to you. I can paint you an exact illustration of it, because I used to nanny for a family, and they've invoked critical race theory in New York City. Critical race theory, basically, at the nucleus of the theory, is that everything can be defined by race issues. It kind of is the example that I've told you in terms of, you can shake your head no, but I'm going to tell you what's actually happening in this classroom that has critical race theory. So on the first day of school, in their liberal arts class. It's actually called a multicultural class. They were told to raise their hands. I know this is a leftist talking point, that there is no such thing as critical race theory. There is. They were all meant to raise their hands, and they were meant to go around the classroom if they were white and to explain how being white privileges them. During Black History Month, they had all of the black kids. This is in a Manhattan elite $50,000 per year school. They inserted critical race theory, and this is how it changed overnight. During Black History Month, they had all of the black students come up on stage, okay, and shout at all the white people about how they didn't understand all of the things that they had lived through as a black person. I see that you're chuckling. This is happening inside of classrooms, so we can't pretend that this is like an invisible thing that's not happening, okay? African American culture, you think that in these classrooms when you're taking African American studies, you're learning about black history. I have never in my entire life seen black people more ignorant about their history than today, right? What they're actually teaching them is how to constantly see yourself as oppressed and how to see yourself through the vein of white people. Like I said before, a game of opposites. Well, the reason why you're not getting ahead in life is not because you can't read, and we won't teach you how to read or teach you how to write or teach you how to learn any science, but because of the color of your skin and because of white people, which you need to go out and attack. And you're never attacking the one thing that is disadvantaging you the most. This is the same for women, right? It is an entire theory built upon the idea that the color of your skin determines your outcome, and it is causing friction in our society. It is not because of racial disparities. It is because people are being taught to think in a way that is going to always make them race to the bottom. So there you are.
I've heard of critical race theory, but I've never heard it explained in that manner. If that was the case here, guys, why? How does that benefit anyone? It doesn't benefit you. It doesn't benefit me. It doesn't benefit no one, guys. In fact, that would definitely start to cause kind of trouble in the classroom, trouble in the region. Why are we doing that? But all right, listen, guys, this was great. No complaints here. I didn't expect for this to turn out like this here. But if you guys do want to actually complete the video, I'm going to go ahead and leave it in the description. You guys can finish it out there. But this was actually great here, guys. I mean, nothing was too overboard, but guys, I do love the fact that we're kind of mentioning some of the things that are relevant here. If we are just talking about Black American culture and society, then yeah, there's a problem. Government Daddy came in and wrecked it, guys. Right? If you want to talk about that, we can have that conversation all day long here. Getting the man out of the family for the sole purpose of utilizing, government funds along with, police protection type of thing, but then ruining the lives of your children because again, what's the chance of your kid actually succeeding with the father in the household? Because again, you then have to, be the mommy and the daddy for the most part here in the household. It's a major issue here. But all right, guys, listen, let me know in the comments. But all right, listen, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I will catch you guys later.